from work that we've done in the PRIME lab. PRIME stands for Psychological Research on Information and Media Effects. It's a research lab in the journalism school where we study fundamentally how the brain processes information. Work that we've done in that lab suggests a fundamental feature of journalism that significantly impacts processing of information in multiple modalities, from print to visual to video to audio, is simply writing. Something as simple as whether you follow the traditional inverted pyramid or whether you're actually practicing narrative style, where you actually tell a story, which is what journalists ought to be doing, right? You know, just that shift from traditional news writing to writing in a more narrative storytelling style significantly makes it a lot more easier for the brain to process, remember, and learn information in multiple modalities. I'll tell you about a specific experiment that we did. We manipulated writing style of online news stories. And we were specifically not so interested in how it impacted processing of the text, but how the writing style of the text impacted the ability to process and remember information from an accompanying news video. Oh. And what we found was that when you write the story in a narrative form, where the print, that kind of accompanying print, is written in narrative style, telling a true story, you know, beginning, middle, end, and focusing in on key characters, that actually makes it easier for people to process and remember information that's accompanied in, you know, that's presented in that accompanying video. You know, intuitively, it almost seems like a no-duh, that it makes sense. You know, fundamentally, for years, we've known that the brain is hardwired to process stories. And that makes sense from just a human development perspective. You know, that we would be equipped with a brain that's specifically set up to process stories from generation to generation to generation. And I think that that's a specific example of how maybe journalism, for whatever historical reasons, moved away from figuring out how to package and present information effectively for the brain.